Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another roster review video. So I think this is number 5 already. I still have quite a few more in the queue, so I'll just try to maybe do 2 a week now just to speed up so people don't wait that long. I'll see if I can do it obviously with Conquest upcoming this week as well, but anyway I'll try to stay on top of it. For those of you that you do want one, as always, hit me up on Discord with your ally code and we can get something sorted out. So let's give a shout out to today's holotable hero, Beanster Master, and also give shout out to their guild, GSF Pi. What does GSF stands for? Galactic Senate Federation? That sounds weird. Some sort of Galactic Federation, I guess. Galactic Scoundrel Federation, maybe. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. So as always with these reviews, I had already off camera, I had a good look at the roster, went through their brief and their questions and what pointers they're looking out for. So I'll just be going through those, answering them in this video, and at the end show you a plan of what I would do if I were in your place. So let's go ahead and have a look. So now they're in Aurodium 2. But before we had a look at the roster and you go like, oh, what is this guy doing in Aurodium 2? They used to be in Kyber 2, they mentioned to me, and I did have a look at their history, and they just haven't been active recently in Grand Arena. Lots of no-shows on their parts. Looks like they were struggling time-wise to stay on top of the game. And same thing with Conquest Units, they've been a little bit struggling to stay on top of Conquest, so they don't have all the latest Conquest Units yet unlocked, but looks like they have now a bit more time or will or motivation, and they want to get a little bit back into the Grand Arena and Conquest, so they just reached out to me to give them some feedback on, what to do, like what to prioritize and things like that. Otherwise, their roster is actually in a very, very good place, so they just need some general advice, what to do now if they want to get a little bit more serious about Grand Arena, I guess. So you can see 11.6 mil GP. That's fine, but check this out, 8 Galactic Legends. I think that's quite impressive at this level of GP to have all the Galactic Legends. They even have like Bane, as you can see in some of the other Conquest units, so not a bad roster at all. It's again just try to, I guess, fill in that gap where they had a bit of a downtime and how to, make up for it. Just looking at my notes, I mentioned they were in Kyber 2. So they're saying that their mods, they appreciate, they're not top tier, but they're not bad overall. And yeah, I had a look at their mods, so similar like most of the reviews I had, like mods are for the most part in a good place. Obviously just maybe speeds are not always quite there where they need to be, but it's just down to, smaller rosters. Maybe younger rosters don't have that large pool of good speeds. But overall, as you can see, 560 plus speed on these guys. Let's have a look at Leia, 550, yeah, so their mods are in a decent place, to be honest. 550 on Kenobi, yeah, so again, similar like last reviews, don't need to spend too much time on mods, just kind of, giving you idea of that they actually do have. Maybe a little more health on Rey, like health on Rey, what is she? Relicate, maybe at least 200k health, maybe just a little bit boost of health there for Rey, and if you can maybe spare another 20 or so speed on Sith Eternal, and then you should be good to go. And again, the rest of the units, I had a look, mods are in the right place, just always maybe missing in some cases some speed on them, but that will just come naturally as you are rolling and slicing them, so not much really to say in mods in terms of that. And then also if you look at the ships, they're capital ships, they've got everything. They've got Executor, Profundity, looks like a recently unlocked Leviathan, so well done on that. So they are in good place in terms of Galactic Legends as well as Legendaries as well, capital ships. So they did say that they now started farming Galactic Legend Ahsoka requirements, and then as well they started farming also Balan requirements. So if we just have a look at that, yeah, so just farming them, I guess. And then where was it? Mercenaries, there we go. Yeah, so got Sheen Mark farming, yeah, so Obviously, they've got everything pretty much unlocked. So yeah, the next step is farm on Ahsoka, for Ahsoka, farm for Balin. But the question is what to do in the meantime while you're farming those, right? So that's what we'll be looking at in this video. And then in terms of Conquest units, what they are missing, I believe, is Trench. Once you unlock Trench, maybe just don't work on him. I don't know. Because Trench can be a little bit annoying on defense with WOD, but it's not a priority, I would say. They don't have Malachus, so obviously that's something. Once you do unlock Malachus, we will want to have Seer Jundan Cal Kestis ready for him, you know, with up running with relics and Omicrons. Then in terms of Rebel fighters, again lacking, you know, not working on Saw, which makes sense, but once you get Luthen unlocked, again, similar like Malachus, you will want to slap Omicrons on Luthen, get Saw Gerrera up and running to give you another Rebel fighter team to use. Now they do have Kylo, they don't have Dark Ray unlocked, but obviously once you have Ray unlocked as well, make sure to have an Omicron to spare for her, and same thing for Ezra, they don't have Ezra Exile unlocked. If you are planning to obviously unlock Galactic Legend Ahsoka, you will want to have Ezra unlocked as well at that point and leveled up, so that you can really boost her viability, and as well in the meantime use Ezra with Rey. So it's kind of the overall looking at the roster. So you know, it's in a pretty good shape. Just a few things to work on and improve, and then obviously just probably need some pointers and suggestions what to prioritize, and you know how that will affect the defensive and offensive plan that they have. I had a look at their history again, not a lot of recent history, so it was not the easiest thing to gauge like what they're doing on offense, what they're doing on defense. So I can't give like a detailed Grand Arena defensive plan, but to be honest, it seems like they need a little bit more kind of general feedback, not just focusing on defense. So that's what I'll be doing when I'll be going through my graphics. But before we do that, let's just look at some of the factions that will require a little bit attention, either, you know, in get up and running or just finishing up. So if we look at Gungans, it nicely looks like they recently unlocked Jar Jar, getting him up and running, obviously slap an Omicron on him. Now in terms of Omicrons, is always a bit of a discussions, because like if you look at the data, all of his Omicrons kind of have a similar impact. So it's not like one that goes like, yeah, this is the best and the others are rubbish. Alright, so just look at GG just to remind ourselves what Omicrons do. So I guess the rule of thumb is this, right? There we go. So this one here, muy, I love you. At the start of the battle, the shield generators gains 2 stacks for every 3 relic levels of amplifiers. So essentially, unless you're planning to bring if you're planning to bring Jar Jar straight to Relic 9, then this is the first Omicron. If you're not bringing Jar Jar to Relic 9, which probably you don't, because you know why would you? Then I think this is the Omicron you should be putting on Jar Jar. Misa okie dokie. Just slap this on, and this is enough, because obviously, you know, there is an Omicron crunch usually for these mid-game accounts, or, you know, so yeah, I would just do this Omicron on him and that's it. So that's for the Gungans. Let's go ahead and have a look what I have next in my notes. So we got Imperial Remnants. Let's check those guys out. Where are they? There we go. So they do have Dark Trooper Moff Gideon unlocked, so obviously just get him up and running. You got Scout Trooper already, you just need to push Death Trooper to Relic 5, you know, and then as well, I guess, Enoch, and then you'll be farming what Death Trooper, Peria, Night Trooper, those guys will go to Night Sister probably. So I guess the lineup we are looking on is Gideon, Death Trooper, Enoch, Gideon, and Scout Trooper. I mean, while you're farming up, like, you know, getting up Enoch or something, TIE Fighter Pilot is a good filler, but eventually you do want to get rid of TIE Fighter Pilot in there, because Death Trooper, Peria, Night Trooper, you will want to use those with your Night Sisters. So speaking of Night Sisters, obviously you do want to get your Great Mothers and Morgan up and running, which you will because you're working on Galactic Legend Ahsoka already anyway, so this will give you another good team to use on defense. And then as well, let's check out Mandalorians. Now they do have Bo-Katan unlocked, which is very nice. Get her to Relic 5, right, and slap an Omicron. In terms of Omicrons, I guess her leadership is the first one that you do want to put on. So you can then counter Lord Vaders. This one is nice to have to be able to ignore the taunts. Is it this one or this one? I can't remember which one is it. Whichever the ignore taunt is, you know, that is a second one, but that one is more of a luxury. Like just her leadership, I think, will be enough to get her up and running. And then let's go and have a look as well at Rebel Fighters. We covered this already, obviously. Saw Guerrera Luthen combo. And then Resistance. No love for Zori? Come on, get Zori up and running. You just one unit, you level up, put Omicron on her, but like even without her Omicron, you know, she will make Fiend team on defense a lot better. You know, another team. So just one unit and suddenly you have a brand new team to put on defense. And similarly, like a Fiend squad, you know, your Admiral Relics, you just need one more unit to get relicked up. So I'll just do K2. He goes nicely with Cassian in there as the 5th Rogue One unit. And then Unaligned Force users, we already discussed, obviously, once you get Malachus unlocked, we need as well to work on Cal and get that Omicron slapped on Seer. And Marek and Sheen, obviously, those will be a part of Balin requirements. Anyways, alright, so they also mentioned they're a bit slacking on Datacrons, so they need some suggestions on Datacrons, which we will talk about. And yeah, I guess this goes hand in hand with them actually making that, you know, they weren't able to stay on top of Conquest recently, but they did say with the next run of Conquest they want to start again doing Conquest, which means, you know, we'll be focusing on enduring power Datacrons, just giving some suggestions what to work on. I appreciate the Datacrons, like, can take, you know, time, effort, and things like that. So, you know, since you're not Kyber 2/Kyber 1, you know, you're on Rhodium 2, just aiming to get back into Kyber, you know, 5, 4, 3. I would say just focus on getting 6 Datacrons from each set to begin with. Like, when it comes to Datacrons, quality over quantity will win every time, because for the most part, unless you're really, you know, in Kyber 1, Datacrons just gives you night boost to the team. They don't like make something totally crazy. Like every set usually has like 2, 3 or 4 maybe that are really crucial, that really allow your teams to do something they otherwise wouldn't. That's why I would say, you know, get 6 Datacrons unlocked and just focus on, you know, leveling them up and rolling the right bonuses. That's what I would do. Get just 6, you know, don't try to do too much. Always get less Datacrons but better quality ones. That I think is the way to go. Okay, so with this kind of overview and covering the points and, you know, answering some of the questions they had, let's go ahead and bring up the graphics now and discuss what's going on here. So we already covered a lot of these points now going through the roster. So this graphic is slightly different. It's kind of a combination of kind of a Grand Arena plan, farming plan, gearing plan sort of ish. Because overall, like in terms of giving them farming plan is pointless because they pretty much have everything. In terms of Grand Arena plan, again, you know, they're in a Rhodium. I don't think they need to worry too much about like exactly what they put on defense, as long as they have the right teams built up. So this kind of more focuses on where to put Omicrons, who to relic up just to fill up the rest of the teams that they have, and as well as, you know, they need some help with Datacrons also. So as you can see, graphic here on the left shows you the units to Omicron, then what Datacrons to focus on, which units to get to Relic 5, and then which ones they still need to farm to 7 stars first, and then obviously how that will transform into teams either to use on defense or offense in Grand Arena. So first things first, Omicron, the first, you know, just slap it on Seer, Relic 5 your Cal. And for now, until you have Malachus unlocked, this is still a good defensive lineup, but you need to include Calrera Mask in there, so they can't use, you know, that Padme cheese on you. And then as well, make sure to put Omicron on Seer, otherwise it's easy Bad Batch food. And then same thing as mentioned before, Zori, get her up and running, even without her Omicron, until you have Omicron spare to put on her. This is still a, you know, solid team to put on defense, especially, you know, while you're climbing back into Kyber League. With Bo again, you have Bo up and running already. Just get her to Relic 5. I think she was like Relic 3 or something like that. Get her to Relic 5 so she hits harder. Slap an Omicron on her, and then suddenly you can counter Lord Vader. Jar Jar, as you've seen already, almost there. Just that one Omicron, was it Misa Okie Dokie? You can put Gangas on defense, they will wreak some havoc. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, a little bit more units to level up, but at least they are all 7 stars already. And the good news is, they don't need Omicrons, so it's gonna be another solid team to put on defense. Admiral Radius, just get K2 up and running, so this is a fully relic squad, so you can put some Datacron on them once, you know, there is something favorable for them. And you could put them on defense, but I feel like, you know, Radius without, you know, the Gene Datacron is more leaning towards offense now, because you can really cheese your way through some of the battles between Radius Gene cheese, right? Night Sisters. Their Night Sister faction isn't all that great, to be honest. So while you're working obviously on your Peridia and Great Mothers, leveling up to 7 stars, get Morgan, Night Trooper, and Marin, and this will then form kind of your Night Sister squad, obviously, and then slap an Omicron on Marin as well. So it's gonna be a nice team you can put on defense, I think, just to cause some problem for your opponents. So these are kind of the teams that just need some gears, relics, right, that are kind of unlocked. And then we're looking further down the line, some units that will be unlocked. Obviously there we will have Saw and Malachus unlocked at some point from Conquest. And this is where you want to slap Omicron on Malachus, as well Saw and Luthen. This gives you 2 more teams to use on defense, or obviously Malachus could be used on offense as well if you need a ray counter. So it's up to you what you want to do there. And then let's talk about Datacrons. Now before we do, this is just kind of like, you know, which level 9 to use, but if you are looking, I guess, for more detailed things what to do on Omicrons, let me actually bring up my website. So if you just head over to the Datacron page, and then you will see here more in detail in terms of level 6 and level 3 what bonuses to go for, because I said I just want you to start off just focus on getting good quality, you know, 6 Datacrons to begin with. To help you, I just kind of listed the top 6 in your plan here, and again you can just check what level 3 and 6 bonuses are recommended. But yeah, just to have an overview here, Nest, thing is at Relic 1, get her to Relic 5, so then you can use her level 9 Datacron. Maybe use with Ray on defense, because you don't have Ezra Exile yet, so I think that could be an annoying team to put down on defense. Same thing with Sana, you can put her down with Leia on defense. But again, like kind of Nest and Sana are very plug and play, so you know, as the seasons move on, maybe there'll be a better team to put on, but at least to begin with, that's what you could do. Also, you know, you do have Jabba unlocked, so get Embo-Koron, which will make, you know, Jabba more formidable on defense. You got Jedi Cal. Now Jedi Cal, you could put, you could use under Jedi Master Luke, but often, you know, you can split them. Maybe use Jedi Master Luke with the leftover Jedi to counter General Skywalker or something like that, right? And then you have a leftover Jedi team with the good ones like Revan, Luke, Jedi Knight Luke, and Cal. You could do Basti lead to counter Malgus, or you know, you could do Jedi Knight Revan lead or Jedi Knight Luke lead versus some other teams, depending obviously what you want to take down. So definitely get that, because it gives you it gives ability to Jedi Cal to use his insta kill ability after 2, not after 3 turns. Then up next we have Afra. No Omicron on her, she's only Relic 1, so at least get her to Relic 5. So then you can use her and BT's as well, Datacron, which gives you a nice kind of Afra, Darth Vader droid lineup to use on offense to take down a lot of things. Putting Omicron on her will just make things easier. So again, if you do have an Omicron, or once you do have an Omicron to spare, she's something to consider. Just her leadership Omicron is more than enough for her to make it work. And then finally, Dash Datacron level 9 is kind of a nice one. Obviously still looking at your roster, like in 3-3 I would do Dash, Han, Chewie on defense, but maybe in 5v5, because I see you don't have all the smugglers and scoundrels, maybe mix in Dash under CLS team and put it on defense. I don't know, see what it does. It's just, you know, something maybe to throw off your opponent. So yeah, this is kind of the overall, I guess, kind of suggestions that I would have for your roster based on, you know, your requirements. Like you've got pretty much everything unlocked already except the most recent things. So while you're obviously farming up those recent units for Baylan and Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano unlock, At least like these are kind of the holes in your roster I would plug in by relicking these units as shown here to relic 5, applying Omicrons, and then as well farming the Datacrons for the upcoming set when Conquest starts this week. Alright, hopefully this was useful and helpful. Again, if you are looking for a roster review, just hit me up on Discord in a direct message and we can work something out. But for those of you watching, thank you, I'll see you in the next one. But until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.